There's a question that quietly follows a lot of us. Will I find the right partner? Will my marriage be peaceful? Will the person I build my life with actually understand me? In Vedic astrology, questions like these have a natural home. They live in the seventh house, the part of your chart that speaks about marriage, partnership, and the people you choose to stand beside. And there's one placement people get especially curious about: Jupiter in the seventh house. Jupiter is the great teacher, the planet of wisdom, growth, and grace. So, what happens when this gentle giant settles into your house of relationships? First, let's be clear about what the seventh house actually covers. It isn't only marriage. It governs your spouse, yes, but also contracts, business alliances, negotiations, and how you meet the world one person at a time. When Jupiter sits here, it tends to bring three things into that space: growth, understanding, and ethics. It softens how you relate to others, and it adds patience where there might once have been haste. In marriage, this placement is often considered kind. It can point toward a partner who is thoughtful, principled, maybe even spiritually inclined. Someone who values fairness and who wants the relationship to grow, not just survive. And it shapes you too. People with this placement often carry a more generous attitude toward commitment. They tend to value mutual respect over control, and they usually try to keep the peace through patience rather than pressure. But remember, the seventh house is also the house of business and public dealings. Jupiter here can support strong alliances and fair negotiation. It often suits work built on trust: counseling, teaching, law, consulting, public relations. Anywhere being principled is an advantage. So at its best, this placement gives you a fair, diplomatic, understanding approach to people, good instincts for partnership, and a quiet sense that your growth is meant to happen through relationships, not away from them. Now here's the part most videos skip. Jupiter in the seventh house is not a guarantee of a perfect marriage. If Jupiter is weak or afflicted in the chart, that same generosity can tip into something harder. You might expect too much from a partner. You might be a little too idealistic, trusting someone's goodness before they've truly earned it. And sometimes it brings delay or a few lessons in judgment before the right partnership finally settles. There's also a deeper layer a careful astrologer won't ignore. In Vedic astrology, the second and seventh houses are known as maraka, or otherwise mentioned as killer houses, places linked with endings, obstacles, and disturbance. Any planet placed in them takes on a little of that character, even a great benefic like Jupiter. So although Jupiter's grace usually shines through, if this maraka influence turns strong, through a difficult dasha or heavy affliction, even Jupiter can waver. And that's exactly where a good astrologer slows down and digs deeper, instead of reading Jupiter as simply good and moving on. This is the honest truth about astrology. One placement is never the whole story. Jupiter's strength, the sign it sits in, the other planets around it, all of it changes the meaning. That's exactly why a general reading and your reading can look completely different. At its heart, Jupiter in the seventh house asks for something simple but not easy. Balance trust with realism. Bring effort, not just hope. When you do, this placement can point toward genuine respect, warmth, and even prosperity through partnership. If any of this made you wonder what your own seventh house is really saying, that's exactly the kind of question worth asking a real person. On Feel Astro, you can browse verified astrologers, see their experience, their ratings, and what they specialize in, and choose someone who fits the question you're carrying. Or if you'd rather start quietly, you can ask Feel Astro AI about your chart anytime you like. If this helped, subscribe. We open up one placement like this every week. and tell me in the comments which house should we explore next.